This is the probability scale, and it goes from 0 all the way over to 1. If something could definitely not happen, if it's impossible, it has a probability of 0. So for example, rolling a 7 on a dice, that's not possible, that's impossible, because the numbers on the dice only go from 1 to 6. If something is unlikely to happen, like winning the lottery, that's where it would be roughly positioned on this probability scale. As we move up along the scale, we can see if something has a 50-50 chance of happening, or a half chance, or an even chance of happening. So for example, when you toss a coin, there's heads on one side and tails on the other side. So that means you have a 50-50 chance of getting a head or a tail. As you move up along the scale, something that's likely to happen. So for example, it could be the weather conditions for at the moment. Like for example, is it likely to be sunny tomorrow? Is it likely to be dry? So you could base it on weather conditions. Maybe being on the predictability of, for example, what you eat in a household. So is it likely that you're going to have potatoes in your dinner today and tomorrow and the next day? If something is definitely going to happen, it is probability of 1, or it's 100% chance of happening. It's certain. So for example, the sun will rise in the morning. Tomorrow will be Saturday. So things that are definite have a probability of 1. So if we go over the page here and we take a look at some sample questions, the Christmas Day will be on the 25th of December this year. That's definite, it's certain. That you'll see David Beckham on your way home from school tonight. That's unlikely, depending on, I suppose, where you're living. You buy a lottery ticket and you win the jackpot. That's very unlikely, so that's unlikely. If you grow another nose, that's not going to happen, so it's very unlikely. You will be set homework this week, so that would be likely. That you're going to have something to eat tonight, so that would be certain. That you will get a 6 on a fair dice, so that's likely. That you toss a coin and you obtain a head, so there's a 50-50 chance of that. That you'll leave a classroom through a door, so that would be certain. You would hope anyway that you'd leave a classroom through a door. And that the sun will rise tomorrow, that is certain.